Emu, an ambitious apprentice. He resided in a serene town known as Eldora, where books were valued as treasures. He nurtured a profound longing for the legendary Book of Omniscience. Rumors whispered that this book, hidden within the treacherous depths of the forest, held the secrets of the universe. Before embarking on his demanding quest, Emu sought counsel from his beloved wife, Alina. With love imprinted in her gaze, Alina, a woman of unwavering wisdom, begged him to reconsider his dangerous venture. "My dearest Emu," she pleaded, "true knowledge is not found within a single volume but in the lived experiences that shape us." With each passing night, Emu's thirst for wisdom drove sleep away from his eyes. He would stay up all night thinking about the legendary Book of Omniscience. His wife worried that he has been consumed by this idea and would often stay awake with him, pleading for him not to go. Undeterred, Emu's determination surpassed his wife's heartfelt pleas. One fateful morning, with the sun blazing through the skies, he bid farewell to his wife. With tears dropping down her cheek, she also bid farewell to him as he embarked on his journey. He ventured into the unfamiliar depths of the forest. As the dense canopy enveloped him like a green robe, Emu began his transformative journey. Along the winding path, he encountered an aged man whose face bore the weight of countless seasons. The old man offered him shelter as the sun's blaze was giving way for the moon to take over the night. Although Emu was hesitant at first, he decided it was safer to be with an unknown human at that time of the night than to encounter wild animals. He dwelt with the old man for the night. The old man offered him a light meal and wine, which he produced locally from berries in the forest. The old man inquired from the young man why he dared to venture into the forest knowing the dangers that lie within. Emu narrated his desire to the old man, and when he was done, the aged man, with disapproval on his face, told Emu his own story. The old man shared a haunting tale that had cast a shadow over his life. As a young man, driven by an insatiable thirst for wealth, he bid farewell to his beloved family and ventured into the unknown. But fate had a cruel twist in store for him. By the time he returned home, he found that tragedy had struck. Both his wife and 2 children had succumbed to a mysterious illness. Grief washed over him like an icy flood, leaving him consumed by an emptiness that troubled his soul. The villagers had laid his family to rest without waiting for his presence. Numbed by the weight of his loss, he had also been robbed of the chance to say goodbye, to hold them close one last time. Deprived of all that gave his life meaning, the old man was drawn into the forest. Among its whispering shadows and the fierce eyes of wild animals, he found the only solace he could. He roamed the undergrowth, a perpetual outsider, forever haunted by the memories of his loved ones. As the years passed, the old man's pain became a companion, a constant reminder of the choices he had made. He had sought wealth, but at a terrible price. And now, in the twilight of his days, he bore the burden of his regrets, knowing that he could never fully mend the broken pieces of his heart. And so, The old man's tale served as a heartbreaking reminder to the young boy of the choices we make in life. While the pursuit of adventure may hold its appeal, it is often the love and connections we forge that truly define our existence. In the morning before the sun started blazing once more, Emu thanked the old man for his hospitality and his advice. But Emu was still determined to embark on his quest, and so he departed from the old man and traveled further into the forest. Emu's path was sprinkled with challenges. Giant spiders, their legs like twisted tree branches, wove treacherous webs across his way. Venomous serpents, their bright green scales sparkling in the sunlight, tested his steadfastness. Yet, amidst the dangers, he witnessed the firm resilience of a wounded bird, refusing to surrender to misfortune. A swift-moving tree branch collided with the bird, sending it crashing to the ground. A bird, whose wings once effortlessly navigated the skies, were now shattered, leaving it stranded and vulnerable. As darkness enveloped the bird's world, it could have easily given in to despair. But within its weak body burned a flicker of hope, a determination to defy its fate. With every labored breath, it refused to let the wounds extinguish the spark that gave it life. The bird used its remaining strength to shelter itself from the elements, huddling beneath a bush to escape the unforgiving rain and piercing cold. Although the bird was very hungry, it refused to give up. The bird used its beak to peck at fallen leaves and insects, sustaining itself on whatever miserable food it could find. As time went on, the bird's wounds began to mend. Though its wings would never fully heal, the bird refused to let this deter it. The bird practiced using its legs to hop and flap, slowly regaining mobility and strength. With each small step forward, its determination grew stronger. Finally, the day came when the bird's wings were just strong enough to lift it into the air. The bird took a shaky flight, but it was a flight nonetheless. It soared through the sky, its spirit soaring higher than its wounded body. The bird became a symbol of hope and perseverance. It inspired Emu to never give up on his dreams, no matter how impossible the obstacles may seem. For in the face of adversity, true strength lies, not in the absence of wounds, but in the refusal to let them define our destiny. As he journeyed on, he encountered a band of children, their laughter like a chorus of wind chimes, who shared their insights on the power of unity and compassion. They would usually gather under a big tree, their faces beaming with anticipation. They had nothing but each other, but it was all they needed. They would share stories, play games, and chase butterflies, their laughter echoing through the air. As he observed the children, he was struck by their radiant smiles and unwavering happiness. "How can you be so content with nothing?" he inquired. The children explained that true wealth lay not in possessions but in the bonds they shared and the simple pleasures that life afforded them. They told him how they gathered their insufficient belongings together, sharing every morsel of food and every cherished moment. Emu was deeply moved by their words. He realized that material wealth could never bring him the same sense of fulfillment as the children's unbreakable friendships and contentment. It taught him a lesson about the true meaning of happiness and the importance of cherishing the bonds we have with others. Continuing his journey, Emu reached a secluded hut, balanced upon a high mountain. Seeking direction, he approached a dwarf. The dwarf is renowned for his mischievousness. The dwarf posed a series of riddles and parables, each designed to test the man's understanding of the world. Emu, who had taken pride in having vast knowledge, had met his match. He was eager to answer the riddles, but he knew the dwarf was cunning, so even if he got the answers correctly, the dwarf might say they were wrong. So he told the dwarf that they should play a game instead. He gets to ask the dwarf a question also, and if the dwarf fails to get the question, then he must show him the right direction to his path, and he made the dwarf swear, because dwarfs cannot go back on their words once they have sworn on it. The dwarf, who also prides himself in having knowledge of everything, agreed to this. He was not able to answer the questions posed by the dwarf, however he got to ask his own question. He thought about something he could ask someone who knows it all. At last, a question came to his head and he asked the dwarf, "What do I have in my bag?" The dwarf was taken aback by the question. He scratched his cloth and tore out hairs from his head, trying to figure out what that might be. In the end he was wrong, and so he had to stick to his word and gave Emu the right direction. Through these challenges, Emu discovered the importance of critical thinking and patience. Each encounter chipped away at Emu's previous beliefs, reshaping his perspective on true wisdom. He realized that knowledge was but a pale shadow compared to the rich textile of life itself. Each triumph, setback, and moment of connection added a vibrant shade to the canvas of his existence. As Emu traveled deeper into the forest, the air grew heavy with anticipation. Finally, he reached the heart of the forest, where the Book of Omniscience was said to reside. To his astonishment, there was no physical book present. However, he noticed a list of names inscribed on the bark of the giant willow tree. These names have been inscribed over time by different men who, just like Emu, have also sought after the book. As Emu read the names carved upon the tree bark, his spirit underwent a profound metamorphosis. He understood that true wisdom was not acquired through routine memorization but through the tangled corridors of lived experience. The challenges he had faced, the connections he had forged, and the lessons he had learned along the way had woven an intricate textile of knowledge that surpassed the pages of any book. With a heart brimming with newfound wisdom, Emu returned to Eldora, a transformed soul. He shared his experiences with his wife. He informed her about his newfound appreciation for what he has and promised to live in the present and be a better man.